Hello, and welcome to my little corner of the cosmic universe. This is High Priestess Indigo, and I'm back with another read for the collective. So, I'm going to start with a prayer. We're going to do the subconscious cards, and then we're going to see where I'm led to. Almighty God, I thank you. Please allow me to be a clear portal and a clear channel for your Holy Spirit and your divine will. Father God, I ask that you bless each and every person that comes across this video. You know who they are and where they are on their journey and what they need. And God, I ask that you bind and return to sender any and all negative energy, negative entities, evil eye, projections, spell work, black magic, dark magic, anything that is not of your purest and highest divine light. These things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Feel like the day flew by. So let's see what we got out here in the read. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. Let's see. All right, let's get some more cards here. All right. So we have needing to address emotional repression, suppressing or denying emotions, hindering emotional well-being and spiritual growth. Needing to focus on shadow work, uncovering and integrating repressed or denied aspects of the self. And the energy I'm picking up so far is a feminine energy. Dealing with chronic stress and burnout, prolonged stress and exhaustion that can affect physical, mental, and spiritual health. Needing to address lack of purpose, feeling aimless or directionless in life, seeking constant distraction or stimulation to fill the void. We have needing to address fear of success, subconscious fears or beliefs that hinder the pursuit of personal and professional achievements. And then, last but not least, needing to heal from spiritual disconnect, feeling disconnected from a higher power, source, or spiritual essence. So, those are the subconscious wounds. They can be past or present, what this person needs to heal or has already healed. So, those are our subconscious cards. And yeah, let me start with the graffiti deck first. All right. Let's see what we got going on in the energy. First card out, closeted. Jealous of your beauty. Pseudo influencer. Okay, I'll take these two. All right. Let's see what we got going on here in the energy. Fishing. Mansplain. Celebrating quietly. Fanatic. Water under the bridge. Mental health issues. Divorce. Flings. In danger to themselves. Obstructing. Self-pleasure. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and get started. So, this reading is for feminine energy, as I mentioned, particularly a karmic feminine. A karmic feminine who has been waging their own version of a one woman war with a divine feminine who honestly is either not aware of them or ignoring them. So, not sure which one it is yet, but it honestly does not matter because either way, there's like, excuse me, whether this divine feminine is not aware of this karmic feminine or ignoring this karmic feminine, it really doesn't matter, like I said, because it's having the exact same result, which is this is a karmic feminine who is angry at a divine feminine because there is a masculine energy that she wants to be with, but who is in love with this divine feminine. This karmic feminine is currently having all of her secrets exposed right now in the 3D. Um, this is somebody who it's being revealed in the 3D has been insanely jealous of this divine feminine and has actually been stalking her. And I'm getting the sense that she's been stalking her under fake social media accounts, fake accounts, just doing the most in terms of like trying to. I mean, really, the sense I'm getting is this karmic feminine is trying to be in this divine feminine's business. And meanwhile, the divine feminine is not really out here in this energy. She's off somewhere celebrating quietly because she's coming into her blessings, her abundance, her spiritual gifts. I feel like she's getting ready to walk into a new love romance, a relationship that I don't feel like has anything to do with this karmic masculine who is giving me the energy of somebody that's her past person. But this is somebody this karmic feminine still wants to be with. So she has basically become very obsessive and fanatical over not only this karmic masculine but this divine feminine, because like I said, she is obsessed with this divine feminine because this karmic masculine himself is also obsessed with this divine feminine. This karmic feminine is going through some mental health issues because she's going through a divorce right now. And it's really just kind of like sending her over the edge. And I'm getting the reason why it's sending her over the edge so much is because this karmic feminine is very codependent. She's very toxic. She's very low vibrational. And honestly, her self esteem is just non existent. This is somebody that does not like or love or truly even know themselves. This is somebody who is really honestly doing everything possible to fish for this karmic masculine's energy, his attention, but he is giving me like this karmic masculine has cut her off completely. Like she's completely blocked out of his energy because I'm not even really picking him up as it relates to this karmic feminine, which is kind of like crazy that this karmic feminine is like really so adamant about this karmic masculine because this is somebody who was engaging in a lot of her own like bad behavior when she was connected to this divine or not divine masculine, this karmic masculine. I'm getting the sense that this karmic feminine was engaging in a lot of flings. Like this is somebody that's very self-focused, selfish. They can be um extremely biting in their energy, and that's really coming out in this kind of mansplaining card here. I feel like this person is very condescending and patronizing, and they really have a sense of superiority that doesn't really match their self-esteem. So it's really just sad because this person is coming across as they're very confident, they're very self-assured, but there's a fine line between confidence and just arrogance. And this person has well crossed the line into arrogance a long time ago. This person thinks they are coming across as confident, but they're really coming across as condescending and cocky and arrogant and actually kind of insufferable, because this is somebody that kind of has a bit of a know it all energy, but they don't know themselves. So it's like, you know everything but yourself, is kind of like the energy it's giving me. This is somebody who is doing everything in their power um, to cause unnecessary drama and obstruct this karmic masculine from going anywhere near this divine feminine. Like I said, this is somebody who is extremely jealous of this divine feminine, not just her beauty in the physical sense, but I'm getting like she's really jealous of this divine feminine's energy. You know, how you vibrate really plays a part in how attractive you are. I feel like, we've all seen those. I like, me and my girlfriends, we like to call them we call them the je ne sais quoi guys. Like, so I'm going to use men as example. So we have a list of like celebrity men that they're not considered like that hunk kind of, the Brad Pitt type guy, but there's something about their energy. Like, they're not the traditional handsome guy, but there's something about their energy that just draws you in to the point that you're like, you find them very attractive. And one of the ones that's on our list is Adrian. Oh gosh, what is his name? I know his name is Adrian. Adrian Brody. I want to say it's Adrian Brody. Now I gotta look it up real quick. 'Cause- yeah, it's Adrian Brody. So he's not like your traditional handsome guy, but he has such a je ne sais quoi about his energy that makes him very attractive. So it's really not to say that this the divine feminine isn't a knockout, because I do get the sense that she is beautiful in a traditional sense. But I feel like more than that, she's like, like I said, this je ne sais quoi. She has a je ne sais quoi in her energy that makes her absolutely stunning. So, even if she's not a traditional, head turning, model look, she is beautiful, but she's also just so beautiful in the inside, and that it radiates out, and it just makes her even that more physically attractive. You guys follow me in that sense, because as the saying goes, um, when you're a good person, that radiates and that makes you very beautiful on the outside. But if you're ugly on the inside, it makes you ugly on the outside, even if you are a attractive person physically. So really, what this karmic feminine is jealous of is this divine feminine's aura, her energy, her presence, the light she walks in, the attention she commands by not even trying to command attention. That's why I say this divine feminine has a certain je ne sais quoi to her energy. And it's very captivating. And it captivates not only this karmic masculine, who I feel like is from her past, but it captivates just about anybody she comes into contact with. Honestly, I feel like this is the kind of woman that men kind of like turn their heads to, because they just want to come over and talk to her, because they just want to be in her presence. They want to be in her energy, even for a few minutes, just to kind of get that star effect that she has. I'm just getting the sense too that, like I said, this for this divine feminine, this past relationship with this karmic masculine feels like water under the bridge, but that it still has not stopped this karmic feminine from basically, I mean, she's really like, she's doing a kind of comparison on herself that is really doing her own self disjustice. Like, it's not about competing. Like, it's about you standing in your own power, fully in your north node, fully healed, and being who you need to be. That's what would make you just as attractive as this divine feminine. So it's kind of just like this person is upset with this divine feminine because she's confident, because she is sure of herself, because she stands in her power, in her authority, and she does not allow other people to mold or bend her into who they think that they want her to be. And unfortunately for this karmic feminine, she's suffering from that because like I said, her self-esteem is so low that I feel like she finds herself in relationships where she easily um she gives up herself. She loses herself in her connections because she does not have a good sense of herself, because she has not really developed that. So this is somebody, like I said, that really is not standing in their own power. And they're honestly the only thing that they really have against this divine feminine, outside of the fact that this karmic masculine is clearly obsessed with her too, is the fact that she, on a level that she may not even admit to herself, she wants to be like this divine feminine. Like there's admiration there, but she somehow has flipped it in a negative to where she is envious and jealous of this divine feminine, but it's because of how this divine feminine shows up in the world, because she wants to show up in the world in the same way. But the only way for her to do that is for her to get to work on herself. So it's kind of what's happening here. Close encounter. So yeah, this is somebody, like I said, that is very focused on somebody who I feel like is divinely protected. That's what I'm getting off of this card. Like, the divinely, it says divinely protected, so close, heightened sense of vulnerability. Yeah. So, like I said, it's not even giving me alien per se, but I guess this divine feminine kind of does move in the world like an alien in a certain sense, because in a world full of knockoffs and fakes, this divine feminine is not afraid to show up as herself. And that is a superpower. And it is one that people simultaneously admire, but simultaneously hate. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with this karmic feminine. This is somebody who in the 3D right now is being canceled, because I get the sense this is somebody that was showing up in their community, in their family and friend groups, masquerading as though they were of the same ilk and energy as this divine feminine. That's been exposed in the 3D. She's being exposed basically as a fraud. And it's just kind of making the subconscious wounds and things that she's feeling worse. So she basically got caught pretending to be this divine feminine energetically. And now everybody knows the truth, because it's giving me, like I said, this person's obsession with this divine feminine went so far as I'm getting the sense this karmic feminine was lying and slandering and talking down and doing dark magic and spell work and speaking that, lots of slander and lots of rumors and and outright lies about this divine feminine, because she was in her own way trying to tear this divine feminine down, one in the eyes of this karmic masculine, and two in the eyes of the community, because I feel like, this divine feminine is very liked or respected in this particular group. And so this person in there kind of like, I want to take this divine feminine's place, not only in this karmic masculine's heart, but also in the heart of the community, who seem to just be enamored with this divine feminine because of her energy. So she tried to show up in this group as though she was of the same energy as this divine feminine. And I feel like that worked for a while, but you can't sustain who you're not. That's kind of how this works. Like, at some point, if you're wearing a mask, the mask is going to slip, because it's not who you authentically are. And you're not showing up in the world as yourself. So at some point, the truth is going to be exposed. What's done in the dark is always brought to the light. So everything is coming to the light. And this person is now getting a tremendous black backlash from this community of friends and family, because this person is coming across as a mental head case, because everybody can see now this crazy obsession and jealousy that this karmic feminine has over this divine feminine as it relates to this karmic masculine, but also they can see the truth of who she is, which is insecure, low self-esteem. um she's coming out as the queen of swords in reverse, so she's coming across like, I heard the word bitchy. Yeah, I had it. She's coming across bitchy. She's coming across witchy. She's coming across manic, very destructive. This is somebody that suffering from like a form of narcissistic injury, by anybody seeing underneath her mask. She kind of has this seek and destroy mindset when she feels slighted or she feels like she's not going to be the top dog or the person that's going to be the center of attention. So this is literally like causing her to kind of lash out. And like I said, everybody around her, in this group of family and friends is like really alarmed because they really feel like she's dealing with some mental health issues. But it's just like a combination of, like I said, a this person is disconnected from themselves. They don't have a true sense of purpose. They don't even know how they really feel in terms of their true emotions outside of any negative emotions. Like they can readily identify their negative emotions when they're feeling angry or they're feeling vengeful, but they can't actually like do the next step, which is dig underneath those emotions to find out what's driving them. I mean, they can if they actually get to work on themselves and actually learn the tools to be able to do that. But as of right now, this person is showing up as somebody who is fully in their shadow side. They're in their north node. And it's just spiraling kind of like downward in a big mess of just bitterness, angry, lashing out. Uh, is giving me like somebody that's on a rampage, a war rampage against anybody that she feels like is going to stand in her way from keeping this divine feminine away from this karmic masculine. But it's not working because, like I said, this is somebody that is going through a divorce. This karmic masculine is leaving her. It's finito. Like if the final dissolution of marriage has not been brought out, I would be shocked. But it feels like, at least in terms of this karmic masculine's headspace and heart space, he has completely cut off all connection. Like he's done emotionally and mentally. She's completely blocked out. Oh boy, I knew this was gonna come up. This is somebody, like I said, they were doing dark magic and spell work. They were coming up as a spiritual charlatan because, like I said, this is somebody who was trying to pretend to be this divine feminine. And I'm getting the sense this divine feminine is in high priestess empress energy. So this karmic feminine was trying to pretend that she had a connection with the most high God that's being exposed right now in the 3D. This person like, I'm getting downloads. I'm talking to the most high. And God like, I don't know this woman. Who is this? Like, should we ain't got no real relationship? I'm laughing because, and it's not funny because it's like, for the time that people like this spend pretending like they have a connection with God, they could actually just develop a connection with God. God is available for any one of us at any moment to speak to him. Like he's amazing as I mean, we couldn't ask for a better creator, and that he's very thoughtful and he's very intentional and he's very loving. And like I said, he develops a individual relationship with each one of us, and he's literally only waiting on us to want to have that connection with him. So this person, while they were pretending to have a connection with God, they could have actually just developed a relationship with God, you know. So this is somebody, like I said, they are, very feeling very jealous because they're watching all of these kind of like blessings and possibilities that are happening in this divine feminine's life. They're seeing the options and the choices and the growth and the abundance that's coming her way, and she wants this karmic feminine wants this, and like I said, the only way to get this is to develop a relationship and serve the most high God. You have to go in and do the work on yourself. And this person, they're suffering. They right now don't feel like they have a purpose in life, but their purpose in life is to discover their purpose in life. If you don't know what your purpose in life is, now's a good time to discover your purpose in life. But most importantly, now this is a good time to do some work on themselves so they don't have to be fearful of the future and what that holds, because this person right now is facing a future of karmic debt. They're facing a future of ego death because this person has shown up as a charlatan, as well as they've been doing dark magic, spell work, black magic, and they've been engaging in a lot of like, with the stuff with these flings and, being selfish in that sense. This person is doing things to try to cover those wounds when it's time for those wounds to be unmasked and healed. Yeah. This is someone who knows this too. They know it deep in themselves, like their gut instinct has already told them it's time for them to give up this pretending to be somebody else. And so now that this is out in the public, I mean, now they don't have to pretend. Now their gut instinct, they can just follow their original gut instinct, which was to start working on themselves. That this is somebody who has spent a lot of time in diva energy, being difficult to please. It's giving me like a grown woman having a tantrum. Like I'm seeing a little girl with pigtails that's throwing her toys around the room and stomping her feet. But this is an adult woman that's doing this. And so it's really, like I said, it's family and friends are looking at her and like concerned at this point, like, sis, you're not looking like you wrapped too tight. But like I said, this is somebody who is honestly facing a kind of ego collapse because everything that they have been kind of spinning their wheels and trying to do, this obsessive, desire to destroy this divine feminine's life, to stop this karmic masculine from coming toward this divine feminine. Her engaging in flings, and her engaging in the flings is really giving me the sense that this person wasn't really engaging in flings because she is coming across as like this harlot energy or this Jezebel energy. It's really giving me that she was engaging in this flings because she was trying to feel better about herself, because like I said, she's been sitting in this crazy mental comparison game between herself and this divine feminine. And the more she compare herself between herself and this divine feminine, the worse she feels about herself. So then she winds up kind of using these flings as a form of a coping mechanism, like an unhealthy coping mechanism, to try to get her self-esteem back up. And it's giving the feeling of like a drug high. Like, yeah, she does the fling and she gets the high off of that, of being, sexually desired by this man, whoever. And it's not even the karmic masculine, it's been other men. So she has that attention and she enjoys that, and it gives her that thrill in that moment and in that time. And then after a while that wears off, and then you having to constantly go back and feed that high, trying to chase that high. So this person has really been using flings and third party situations more as a ego boost, as a drug, like I said, like a drug high, than it is that I feel like she's really just like a Jezebel. That's a weird thing to say, but that's really what I'm getting. This is somebody that likes to be in a winning energy. Like I said, they like to be a top dog. And this whole situation, this secret competition in her mind with this divine feminine is just not making her feel like she is the top dog. But this is a nothing destroys your self-esteem further like comparing yourself to somebody else, particularly another feminine energy. Like, I have my whole life hated to see women pit themselves against other women, and women do it a lot for relationships and in jobs, and like, but especially for men. Like, women will tear each other down for the attention of men, and it's just kind of like, it's sad because honestly, like, let me just put it this way: only a certain kind of man likes women to be in competition with each other. I gotta say that. Like, it's only a certain type of man that likes to see women in a competition over men or himself, and they are all low vibrational and karmic men, because high vibrational men love a woman like the divine feminine because they march to the beat of their own drum. They're not trying to be somebody else. They're not trying to compete with other women. They're only in competition with themselves. They're only showing up in the world as themselves. And that kind of level of authentic energy, when a woman is unafraid to stand, in her feminine energy, and she embraces that and she shows up as herself, it gives the man permission to show up as himself. And he knows that not only is this feminine energy showing up as herself, but he knows that he does not have to caretake her. He knows that he does not have to make her feel good about herself. He doesn't have to prop up her self-esteem. He doesn't have to constantly feed her ego. And for a high vibrational woman exhibit those qualities of, she's self-assured, she's confident, she's self-motivated, she is willing, to take care of herself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically as well. And she's not reliant upon him to make her sun come up in the morning. As a matter of fact, she makes her own sun come up in the morning, and she just radiates that energy over any and everybody she comes into contact with. And for a high vibrational man, that's attractive. But when I see a woman competing with another woman for a masculine energy, it just makes me sad, because that's not the way to go for the feminine energy. It is a one-way ticket to low self-esteem. It is a one-way ticket to always feeling like you're never good enough because you're in competition with another female energy. And every single woman on the face of this earth is different in some regard, you know. So that's why you, as a woman, you have to just show up authentically as yourself, because, you know, I started learning this probably in my early to mid 20s. Men like all different type of women, and men are going to go for what they want. Maybe you might not be that man. Maybe you may see a guy and you think he's attractive, but maybe he's not attracted to you. Hey, my saying is, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not trying to convince the masculine energy that does not want me that I'm his type. I'm trying to be me, and then the man that wants my type finds me, in that sense. So you have to kind of come with that approach of like, be who you are as a feminine energy. Be fully healed and authentic in that feminine energy. And the man that is for you is going to love you exactly who you are. You're not going to have to compete with another woman or try to, you know, mask yourself up as another energy. You can just be yourself, and the person that's right for you will love you as you are. So it's just sad, because this is somebody that is currently sitting in victim mentality. They feel like a victim, they feel like they're being abandoned, they feel like they're being lost. But the problem is, um this person has long abandoned themselves, so they're kind of feeling like a victim of this karmic masculine leaving them. But they've self-abandoned themselves a long time ago. So who was the masculine energy really leaving? Is he really leaving the real you, or is he leaving this knockoff version of you that was pretending to be a karmic or divine feminine? because you wasn't showing up in this relationship with this karmic masculine as your authentic self anyways. So he's not really leaving the real you, because you haven't developed the real you. He's leaving the fake person that you were pretending to be. So you're feeling victimized, but you're really victimized by your own abandonment of yourself first. And then people in our lives just mirror whatever we feel about ourselves. So this is somebody that feels like, they're in too deep. They're in too deep in this relationship. And I get the sense that this had been a long-term relationship for this karmic feminine. I get the sense they have been together for a long time. And so this person is kind of really like feeling like they're losing a sense of themselves by this relationship ending. But that's because this person gave up themselves in this relationship. So I've gone through this personally, so I can speak to this for sure. When you're in a relationship and you lose yourself in a relationship, when the relationship ends, it bottoms you out. You hit rock bottom emotionally because you have given up yourself and you've given your power away to somebody else in a relationship. And I have done this before in the past. And it is a hard thing to wake up and realize that you're feeling far more broken about the ending of a relationship than you should possibly be feeling, but it's because you have given yourself up in that relationship. And that's what's happening to this karmic feminine right now. Is she is waking up, and this is part of that victimhood mentality. She's waking up to the reality that she lost herself in this relationship, so much so that it feels like this karmic masculine is taking a big chunk of her with him, but it's because that was the part of herself that she gave up to him. And I get the sense that she gave that up to him to keep him in this relationship. This is somebody that was catering to what this karmic masculine wanted, and in a lot of ways trying to become who trying to become this divine feminine to keep this karmic masculine. And ultimately, it did not work because once the karmic masculine realized, wait a minute, she's not the divine feminine. She's, I don't know who she is. She doesn't even know who she is. He walked away from this. And he wanted to naturally go to the divine feminine because she's in that energy of being authentically herself. That's what kind of happened here. And this karmic feminine still hasn't shown up in the world as herself because she's very disconnected from herself. So this is somebody that's, I say, like, this shadow work has to start happening because this is somebody who is honestly, I feel like they spend a lot of time focusing on their looks and they've gotten that department well. This is somebody that I feel like on the outwardly looks very attractive. They're very beautiful. Their body looks great. They dress nice. They present well, but underneath all of that is somebody who does not like or love themselves. So all of the outer trappings of this person don't really mean much because this person doesn't really like themselves. This is somebody that has been watching this divine masculine watch this divine feminine. So it's giving this crazy, like, this karmic feminine is admiring this karmic masculine from afar as she watched this karmic masculine admire this divine feminine from afar. But right now, like I said, this is somebody who is lashing out. They're all over the place because like I said, they're spazzing out because they really feel like they're losing a big chunk of themselves. And that's really what is driving this kind of like obsession over this karmic masculine, as well as this obsession over this divine feminine, is the fact that this person feels like they're losing, but what they're losing or have lost is themselves. And so they're just exhibiting a lot of behavior issues that, like I said, is very akin to mental health issues because this person has not they haven't done the work on themselves. And so, like I said, they're losing themselves because they've lost themselves in this relationship, you know. And this is somebody that really deserves their own self love. This is somebody that I feel very clearly deserves to show up in the world authentically as themselves and to give themselves love. They just have not haven't done that. But this is also somebody who is fighting for this relationship that this karmic masculine doesn't want anymore. They feel like this relationship is worth fighting for. I get the sense that maybe they have a family together, maybe there's children or house or something, but so social standing, like all of this stuff is like factoring into this karmic feminine's mind, that she feels like she doesn't want to have to show up in society and feel like she failed. But the failure is not where she thinks it is. The true failure is in her not loving herself. But she's looking at it from the outside of like, I don't want to have to tell my friends that I'm going through divorce, that he doesn't want me, and it's this is somebody that's trapped in the trappings of the outside, of how it looks from the outside. But I'm getting the sense that inside of the house, when these two were together, it was very toxic. So this person is fighting to hold on to something that honestly, if she was honest with herself, it wasn't working for her either. Because this is somebody that was engaging in flings. People who are happy in a relationship don't cheat on each other. Somebody that's truly happy within themselves doesn't cheat. For one, that's the first part. And then if you truly love somebody, you're not willing to risk the relationship for a fling. So there were so many levels to that relationship that did not work. But I feel like this karmic feminine is kind of not thinking about that right now, because this is somebody that is only remembering the good times. They're not remembering how toxic this relationship truly was. They're just, oh, this was my soulmate. This was the person. This was my person. We were supposed to do this life together. And it's like, but when y'all were doing this life together, all y'all did was bicker and fight, and it was a clash of egos, because I feel like these two were locked in a really toxic ego dance that they did with each other. It's given almost like two people that would just battle it out. Like I see two people with two swords fighting with each other constantly, tearing at each other's self-worth, tearing at each other, making digs at each other, um, being real petty with each other. So it was like this relationship wasn't really working in a lot of fundamental ways anyways. It was very toxic. It was very karmic and codependent. So what this person is remembering is kind of almost like a rose-colored idealized version of the relationship, but that's what she's holding on to, and that's what's making her feel victimized, is because she feels like she's losing her soulmate, but in actuality, they really didn't get along very well. Yep, see, there we go. There's the confirmation. Toxic love. It was a toxic love relationship. It was extremely toxic. And I feel like that's a big reason, even outside of this karmic masculine being in love with this divine feminine, a big, I want to say that's like 10% of the reason why he's leaving is this divine feminine. The 90% of why he's leaving this relationship is because it was a toxic love relationship. And this karmic masculine is kind of on the verge of waking up. I feel like he's starting to realize some things. He's going through his own spiritual journey right now as well. Just like this karmic feminine I feel like the most high God is trying to force her towards that, so that she'll finally start working on her self-esteem and start learning to love herself. I feel very well like this karmic masculine is being pushed to that same kind of like, he either way, I'm not getting all of the details on where he is spiritually, but I can tell you that he's awake enough to know that he needed to get out of this toxic relationship, and that they were just going in cycles. Yeah, because he wants to move towards something that feels more like wish fulfillment. And in his mind, it feels like this divine feminine, but I'm not getting much on that either, whether or not this divine feminine feels that way about him. I just get the sense that she is not involved in the situation. So I feel like she's been triangulated unfairly into this karmic couple's relationship when she herself is personally not invested or involved. Yeah, so this karmic feminine is really grieving right now because she really, like I said, she's going through all of the gamuts of, she's feeling stressed and burned out because everything she's done, you know, and I'm getting like she's even, like I said, she's gone to spell work and love spells and all kind of other potions, like to try to keep this karmic masculine, and everything that she has done has not been successful because this relationship is still ending in a divorce. All of the masking, and I think that's another reason why she feels so bottom out by this relationship ending, because she's invested all of this energy. When you think of the spell work, when you think of her masking up, pretending to be a divine feminine, like this person has done a lot of work, not good work. This is like digging, and I hate to say this, it's like digging concrete with a plastic shovel. Yes, you're doing a lot of work, but you're not doing effective work. But this person feels like they put in all this work into this relationship, but it wasn't actually effective work. It was her digging with concrete with a plastic shovel. Yes, you are working very hard, but you're not working very smart. And that's kind of, that's why I say I hate to say that, but like, yeah, but this person really sees it as, I put all this work in. I've been so supportive. I've been so loving. I've done all of this for him. And he's still leaving me for her. Like I said, I get the divine feminine was 10% of why he wants to leave. The other 90% is this was a toxic love relationship. It was doomed to fail. Whether this karmic masculine wanted to be with this divine feminine or not, this relationship did not have a stable foundation. It was not built on anything stable. It was built on lies, and it was built on pretense and mask and cheating and deceit and toxic behavior and codependency. It was not built on anything that holds up long term. And as a matter of fact, it's giving a karmic cycle. And it sounds like when the karmic lesson was learned, at least on this karmic masculine's part, he went on. He learned the lesson he needed to learn from the relationship, and he's moving forward. This karmic feminine is the one that's still struggling with letting this go because this was tied to her self-esteem. This was tied to her self-worth. This was tied to her self-image. This is somebody that does not like or love themselves. And so everything they had was, excuse me, spiritual birth, was tied to this relationship. Honestly, her and this karmic masculine was opposites. I just don't, I don't, I think they, and she felt like this relationship was too big. It was too big to fail. But this was in her own mind because of all that she had invested of herself into this relationship. And it's just giving me like this opposites attract, which is why I think she was masking herself up as this divine feminine so that she would seem like she was more like this karmic masculine, at least his temperament or his personality, because she knew that who she truly was, which was, kind of this woman that doesn't like or love herself, that engages in these flings. This karmic masculine would not have, somebody that was also pretending to be a spiritual charlatan. If she showed up as that, this karmic masculine wouldn't have dated her, even with his own toxic energy. He would not have wanted to have been with somebody that was engaging in flings and showing up as a spiritual charlatan. Though like I said, I'm not saying that he was perfect in this relationship either, because I get the sense that he had a lot of toxic traits as well, because they both contributed equally to the toxicity of this relationship. I'm not putting this all on her because he was very toxic in this relationship as well. But the difference is he's trying to get out of it because he recognizes that it's toxic. And it's not working for either one of them in the long term, in terms of them being able to grow and elevate as people and heal themselves and actually work on themselves. And more so, it's not working because this karmic masculine was not being honest with himself about his true feelings as well. I get the sense that he knew before he married this karmic feminine that he was still in love with this divine feminine, and he was not being honest. So that's why I say he was not blameless in this situation. But this reading's not about him. This reading is about this karmic feminine and what she's going through and what she's suffering through, which is a lack of self-worth and a desperate need to connect with herself, her inner child, and to start healing herself. Because whoever you are, karmic feminine, you deserve to not give up on yourself. This relationship might be over, but take that energy and channel it into healing. I mean, when I was in the same situation, that relationship that meant everything and meant the world to me, when it ended, and I realized I had lost myself in that relationship, and so much so to I didn't really have much of a self to go back to when the relationship was over. And it really threw me for a loop, because at the time the person really discarded me and the relationship. Um, at a time when I was really going through a lot emotionally, and I really wanted this person to show up for me, but it made me realize that I wasn't showing up for myself. And honestly, in hindsight, I thank that person, because I needed that. I needed to be abandoned in that way, because I needed to wake up and I needed to start doing my work. And that's what it caused me to do. It woke me up, and I started on my spiritual journey. And I'm where I'm at now because of that relationship, to be perfectly honest. So, in a lot of ways, it started off as the worst thing that ever happened to me, and it became the best thing that ever happened to me, of somebody leaving me. I know that sounds crazy, but I had to start from scratch. I took everything that I was before, and I threw it out the window. I mean, that's what happened in ego death, anyways. God was throwing out everything, anyways. So I hit a rock bottom. I hit ego death immediately. And then I started getting to work. And like I said, during that time, I was doing double therapy. I was going to see a therapist twice a week. And I was doing a group therapy. So I was basically going to therapy 3 times a week. I was going to church. I was going to workshops. I was going to seminars. I was reading self-help books. I was reading spiritual books. I was doing any and everything I could. If at the time I was like, if Prince would have told me to strip naked and jump into Lake Minnetonka, I would have done it if I thought it was gonna work for me. Like in terms of me feeling better. But I had to troop through it. And I trooped through it. I mean, it was not comfortable. It was the most uncomfortable time of my life. I felt like crap every freaking day. I cried for days on ends, months on end, years on ends. But I got through ego death. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So sometimes the things that start off as a curse or feels like a curse in our lives, we can turn into our greatest opportunity for growth, is what I'm saying. Like I had to take that ending of that relationship that bottomed me out and left me feeling destitute, like this karmic feminine is feeling, and I had to turn, as one of my favorite readers say, when life gives you lemons, say F those lemons and go make you something else. Make some lemonade, make a lemon meringue pie, make lemon tart, you know, make whatever you want, but you can do something with it, you know. Everything's a learning opportunity. So whoever you are, karmic feminine, you owe yourself some self-love. You owe yourself the time to now invest in yourself. Discover who you are, because you're worthy of that. That's why God made you uniquely you, so you can start showing up in the world as your true authentic self that is healed, no longer toxic. That's the message. Be blessed.